Welcome into the Alabama Football Report by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. Coming up on today's show, we'll catch you up to speed with some news and rumors involving your Crimson Tide, as USA Today has put together a list of bold predictions for Alabama in 2023. And what we'll do on today's show is we'll run through each of the bold predictions and talk about how likely each one is or isn't coming up in just a matter of moments. Before we get to that, though, want you to share today's show. That way we can get this video out to as many of the Crimson Tide fans as possible. And we're going to be bringing you more content here on the channel, as you guys have seen, as you guys are just a fantastic fan base. You are the best and deserve the best, right? And so with that, we want to get this video out to as many Alabama fans as possible. So here's what I need you to do. Go ahead and click that share button, select the Twitter icon, and click post to Twitter. And for everyone that shares today's show, you're going to get a shout out on a future episode of the Alabama Football Report. Simple as that. So help us out, help you. Let's get this show out to the masses here on the Alabama Football Report. We certainly appreciate it, and we'll get started with today's show. The first bold prediction from USA Today is that the Crimson Tide will beat the Texas Longhorns by not one, but 2 touchdowns. We're going to give this 2 Saban heads on this one. Look, this Texas team coming back into 2023 is very, very talented. Old friend Steve Sarkisian has a pretty good roster there in Austin. Not only the quarterback position with Quinn Ewers and then Arch Manning behind him, but the rest of that offense is going to be pretty powerful. The defense was not bad last year either. Texas is going to be a force to be reckoned with, and this is a crucial year for that Longhorn team. I do think Alabama has every reason to win this game, but as far as a 2-touchdown win goes, that might be a reach. Is it possible? Sure. But a lot of things have to go right and some self-inflicted wounds from that Texas team. And although expectations are always high in Tuscaloosa, as they should be, I think that as you go through this transition year that we're about to see from Alabama of moving on from Bryce Young and Will Anderson and other players, it's going to take time to develop these guys. And I don't know necessarily if right away they can win a game like this by 2 touchdowns. That might be a bit of a reach. Possible, sure, but a lot to ask of a young team early on in the season taking on an experienced team like the Texas Longhorns. Our pin comment today, you might get an ad break, if so take advantage of it. Get your votes in. Tell me what you think will be the score when Alabama and Texas square off in that great matchup. How's it going to turn out? Obviously, you're picking the Tide to win, but what's the score going to be? That's our pin comment today. You might get an ad break. If so, take advantage of it while the ad's playing. Get your votes in and tell me what you think the final score is going to be between these two teams. Next up on our rumors list, Caleb Downs wins the Jim Thorpe Award. Now, Caleb Downs, we'll give this one Saban head here. Downs is a terrific football player. No question about it. I'm excited to see what he does in 2023. No question about it. For the former 5-star recruit, number 6 overall player, number 1 safety, number 1 player in the state of Georgia when he was coming out of high school and everything. All of that sounds good. But so much talent out there, it's really hard to specifically say, yes, that guy is going to win that award just because of the number of guys that can be competing for this. So just the odds. You don't have to be a math expert to know that it's going to be difficult to capture. It's possible, sure, but just the number of guys in all of college football going for this same award, he's got his work cut out for him. But nonetheless, watch out for Caleb Downs. He's going to be a player to watch for sure in 2023. Next up, Malik Benson contending for the Biletnikoff Award. What is that possibility that we see? Kind of similar to what we talked about with Caleb Downs of winning the award. We'll give this one Saban head here. This one, it's possible, but there's a lot of other receivers out there too, and it's a good year for receivers in college football. I think you looked at this past draft, and it was kind of down at the receiver position. I think that this next draft class is going to be much improved with the talent that we see in college football at that receiver position. You're going to have a lot of good guys contending for this. Malik Benson coming off a spring game where he was spectacular. 5 catches, 70 yards, and a touchdown grab. Malik Benson's going to be a force to be reckoned with, and he'll be the leading target of this Alabama offense, but not exactly sure if he's going to be one of those top contenders for the Biletnikoff Award just because there's going to be a lot of guys for it. So we'll see, but watch out Malik Benson to see what he does in 2023. Folks, we're bringing you Alabama coverage all the time here on the channel. We're counting down to kickoff of another big year for the Crimson Tide. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to subscribe to the channel for the latest happenings on your Alabama Crimson Tide as we're talking news and rumors. We also are all over recruiting, the transfer portal. This is the place to be if you love your Alabama Crimson Tide. So, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Doesn't cost you a thing. It is absolutely 100% free to subscribe. Turn on notifications. If something happens with Alabama, they pull in a big signing in the transfer portal, get a big commit, whatever it may be, we're going to stop what we're doing and we're going to bring you a video as quick as we can. Why? Because we're built different, much like the Alabama Crimson Tide, built by Bama, right? Subscribe now for free. You'll be glad you did. YouTube.com/@RollTideTV. Roll damn Tide. All right. Next up, the Alabama quarterback competition runs into the season. We'll put 3 Saban heads on this one. Yeah, that very well could happen here for Alabama as you got a few different options here. Now, obviously, Tyler is the favorite. He comes into camp as the QB1, but Jalen's right there, Ty Simpson as well. And we've seen in the past where Nick Saban, maybe the guy that he starts week 1 doesn't necessarily mean that he's committed to them, that the job is theirs for the long term, that there are some changes that go along the way. History has told us that nothing is a guarantee. And so we'll see how this goes. Obviously, injuries play a factor here, but don't be surprised if we see multiple quarterbacks this year for this Alabama Crimson Tide team. It's certainly possible. We'll see. Who will be the week 1 starter at QB? Or will they end up splitting snaps? Tell me what you think in the comments section. What happens with the Crimson Tide at the quarterback position in week number 1? All right, the last one that we have for you today. Bama has a top 3 defense in all of college football in 2023. We'll give this 3 Saban heads. Yes, I think it's very likely that we see Alabama on top of the mountain when it comes to the defensive side of the ball and what they bring together. And 24/7 Sports projected the top defenses in the country in 2023. Georgia's up there, Michigan, Penn State, Florida State. There's no reason why the Crimson Tide shouldn't be up there. We know that their roster, even with the players that they've lost, is still really dang good. At Alabama, this program doesn't rebuild, they reload. Watch out for Alabama to have another great defense again. One more for you before we wrap up here. Tommy Rees, a major upgrade from Bill O'Brien? I'd give that 2. I personally like Bill O'Brien. I understand there was some frustrations among the fan base at times of what Bill O'Brien did. But Tommy Rees, this offense is going to look different than what we saw from Bill O'Brien as far as that goes. And the thing I've always felt about Bill O'Brien when he came to Alabama, it never felt like that he wanted to be here long term, that he had kind of one foot out the door, that he was looking for that next opportunity, whether it was to be a head coach or go back to the NFL as an OC. Tommy Rees, I don't think he's going anywhere. I think he's pretty set on being with this Alabama program. I'll give that 2 Saban heads as far as that goes. Confidence level in Tommy Rees. Tell me what you think. Scale it for me in the comment section. 1 through 10 of your confidence level in the Crimson Tide's new OC. Tell me what you think. 1 through 10 in the comment section below. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time right here on the Alabama Football Report.